It is the calm after the storm. The Direct last week aired. It was big. We'll get into news that came out after the Direct. The Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa commenting on the next console. We also have Pokemon news to top all that off. Let's go ahead. Ladies, gents, we are absolutely back for your favorite Nintendo news podcast of all time. Like, there won't be a better one in 6,000 years. Maybe there will be, but you know what I mean. We're back, the Mario Matter, episode number 44. That's a pretty fun number. It is the calm after the storm. The Direct last week aired. It was big. We saw a brand new Mario game. We saw Detective Pikachu, WarioWare, a whole bunch of stuff. We'll get into not what was in the Direct, but more so news that came out after the Direct. If you want to see my thoughts on the Direct, there's a separate video on my YouTube channel for that, but we'll go into the news that came after it. We have so much stuff. We have the Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa commenting on the next console at the shareholders meeting held a few days ago. We have a brand new Pikmin 4 feature that was shown off that almost ruins the charm of playing and failing, but we'll get into all of that. We have Everybody Want to Switch launching this Friday in 2 days as of posting the podcast. Could it be one of the biggest 1-2 disasters? I mean, we're about to see here. We also have Pokemon news to top all that off. Let's go ahead. Let's not delay what you want to hear. Let's go ahead. Let's go. And we are now in the headline segment here. Now, what the headline segment is on this podcast is we go through every little bit of Nintendo news that you would care about. Like, I'm not going to talk about brand new one item in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, but like, you know, most of the big things that you would want to know about. And we date back to the last podcast, which was actually, it was 8 days ago, because I posted the last one on a Tuesday because I had to get it out before the Direct airs on June 21st. So we go back until June 20th for this one piece of news here. Let's go ahead, let's begin. We do this now, and then we have 2 segments of news later on, and then at the tail end of all that, we answer your questions. We have 20 good questions to answer. Let's go ahead, let's begin with June 20th news, guys. I have been waiting for this piece of news for what must be like, it must be, I mean, ever since they were restocking any Zelda amiibo, and I think that, you know, we had first heard about that, I think in either January or February of this year. None happened until like April or May, but we heard about it happening this year. I've been waiting for the Skyward Sword Link amiibo to get restocked. So on the official Nintendo Twitter, they tweeted out, hey, look out for your retailers in North America, the Skyward Sword Link. And as we knew, the Bokoblin amiibos are going to be returning to retailers, which is what you can assume is probably Best Buy is one of them. Best Buy already had the Skyward Sword Link on sale, and I believe the Bokoblin also on sale. It might also be coming to a store like Target. It might be coming to, I mean, because you say Walmart, I'd say Amazon, you know, places like that, kind of where you buy your Switch games and where you've bought amiibo. I would assume that these will all come to there. Let me actually, I keep forgetting to record on OBS as well, because if my SD card corrupts, dude, I'm screwed. So OBS, boom, there we go. Anyways, it is in these retailers. So as I said, Skyward Sword Link went up on Best Buy. It's, I believe, sold out now. Same thing with the Bokoblin, but they have not gone up on anywhere else. Bokoblin, I think, was on Amazon, but like Skyward Sword Link, nowhere else. So if that comes back in stock, you better snag it if you want it. You better get it quick, all right? Okay, so I recommend following, there's some Twitter accounts that'll tweet out right when it's available, like Wario64, Amiibo Alerts, Nintendo. Follow any of those accounts, and you will be notified when either of those come back in stock. If they come back in stock, I do expect Link to be on Amazon at the very least. At the very least, Amazon or Walmart or Target or something like that, you know? I don't know, but those are back in stock. Check them out. Honestly, I don't know if they'll ever get restocked, because when the next Zelda game comes out, I mean, are Amiibo even going to be around? Like, honestly, like, they're kind of dying now a little bit. Are they going to be around then? Who knows, honestly. So, check them out. Then, for those of you who like free things, like if you just like the free stuff, you aren't paying for a Skyward Sword Link amiibo, or you aren't paying for a Bokoblin amiibo, but you did pay for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I have a free code for you to get a friend ball, 10 nuggets, and 10 rare candies. So, if you tune into the podcast, it seems like every single week there's a brand new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet code to put in and redeem and just get random stuff, whether it be a Pokemon or 10 nuggets. Are they Dino Nuggets? I don't know. I don't want to know. But anyways, if you have your Switch out and you're ready for the code, listen to this. The code is very simple. It is Treasure Hunt, all one word. TREASUREHUNT. That is the code. Now, make sure that you use it before July 31st, 2023. Because, I'm sorry to say it, someone's going to watch this after July 31st, maybe even on July 31st. Somebody will listen to the podcast. And if that is you, please comment right now, because I will come back here on July 31st and just if someone comments, I will give my sincere apologies, okay? Please redeem it before then. But free stuff expires in just about a month, so go and redeem that, and let me know how you decide to use your friend ball. Keep me posted here, okay? And then, it's hard to call this piece of news Nintendo news, but I am going to bring it to you because a lot of Nintendo fans would probably be interested in this. Maybe if you're a Nintendo Switch fan, that would be a better title for this one, alright? So, we like to cover Sonic news too, because everyone I know that is a Nintendo fan has at least some interest in Sonic. So, with that said, the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie is set to begin filming in August 2023. Now, this movie is scheduled to release on December 20th, 2024. So that's a long time. That's about a year and a half. And so they have a good amount of time to film, to edit, and according to production sheets, it does state the filming begins in August and it'll take place in London, England. Interesting location. I honestly thought these were shot and, filmed in America somewhere, whether it be California. I don't know where it would be. I didn't expect London, I'll say that. It's a great place, never been there, but heard good things. So, the Sonic team can do what the Sonic team wants to do, but that movie is filming soon, or it is set to anyway, and it should definitely meet the December 20th, 2024 deadline. It's looking good, right? It looks really, really good. Then, June 22nd, guys, we actually got, I'm not going to lie to you, a little heartbreaker, okay? We move to last Thursday. And by the way, I think I skipped over June 21st. After Skyward Sword Link was June 21st. So my apologies there. Guys, June 22nd, we got sad news. I'm not going to lie to you here. E3, as we know it, was canceled for this year, 2023, okay? It was canceled. We don't like when conventions get canceled. It's never a good thing, right? But the reason for its cancellation was because big companies like Nintendo, like Microsoft, like Sony were not going to be attending and showing off new games or anything of that nature, which is honestly weird because I guarantee you that Direct that was aired 1 week ago as of posting the podcast was definitely ready when E3 happens. E3 happens, it's sometime around, June 10th to June 15th, somewhere in that little gap. I think that the Direct would have been primed and ready to go for that convention, it would have been good. So I don't know why Nintendo did not attend, but they didn't. Anyways, what's the news here? E3 is possibly canceled for 2024 and 2025. That's the headline here. Now, what makes us think this? Let's dive in. So, the Los Angeles City Tourism Board of Commissioners. If your name is that long for whatever you're running, I mean, there's got to be some like Google like title shortener. I mean, that's the long name, right? So, anyways, they posted convention sales numbers on Twitter. Standard stuff, okay? So if you don't have your glasses on, this looks like a nothing burger. Although if you look in the bottom right of this image, they're putting out these numbers and it says includes E3 cancellations for 2024 and 2025. So at that point, it was seemingly canceled. Although while it looks definitive, we can't say for sure still because the ESA, who runs E3, actually told someone on Twitter, who I believe is much more than someone on Twitter, but that's where I found out, Steven Totillo, they told him that the ESA is currently in conversation with ESA members and other stakeholders about E3 2024 and beyond, and no final decisions about the events have been made at this time. So, I mean, where would that come from, though? Like, this Los Angeles City Tourism Board of Commissioners, did they pull this information out of their butt? Like, where did it come from? Like, it doesn't just come out of nowhere, Like, I think the plan is to have those canceled. I don't think that an E3 2024 would look better than how E3 23 was looking. I don't think that it looks better, and I don't know if it was some miscommunication, but let's just say if you're looking forward to going to E3 2024, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It really isn't. Same thing with 25. The next year, I mean, it doesn't look good, but I'm so I really miss, right? I really miss when E3 was like this thing. Like, when I was younger, like 5, 6, maybe like 7 years ago, going to E3 looked like the coolest thing ever. It looked like the coolest thing. I was under 18, so I believe that you have to be over 18 to go. I think that's the rule, because when I Googled that, I was so upset. I Googled it, and it sucked. I believe you either have to be over 18 or you have to be invited or something. I was not getting invited. So I could never go, and I've never been to an E3, but that was always like one of my big dreams. And now it's never going to happen, it looks like. But at the same time, I'm not like too bummed because E3 is not as cool as it used to be. It's just not. Like, they used to show so much stuff at E3. And while they still did a few years ago, maybe it's just me. I feel like it's gotten worse over the years. I feel like 2015, 2014, 2013 were some of the prime years for E3. And of course, beforehand, like when they show off consoles in like 2003 or 4 or 5, of course that was great too. But like, when I've been paying attention, those are some that I remember. So it really does suck. It sucks there's no E3 this year and maybe the next 2 years, but who knows? Maybe it's a dying thing. Anyways, I think there's some ways to revive E3, but sorry, E3ers. Then we've got a piece of news, a fascinating discovery, rather, and a pretty cool move on Nintendo's end. So, if you were watching the Direct, now, there's a whole lot of news that came out after the Direct aired, and we go over that all later, but I don't count this much as news. I kind of count it as like a cool thing, so I'm bringing it to you right here. Guys, if you watched the Direct that aired on June 21st, which was a week ago, you would have seen WarioWare Move It was announced for the Switch. It releases what I believe is November 3rd, and it's got a bunch of games. WarioWare is always fun. It's great fun. And so the game is called WarioWare Move It. Now, here's an interesting observation linked to the Japanese WarioWare Move It, okay? So, it appears to be a sequel from the Wii WarioWare game, WarioWare Smooth Moves, which was a great game. You know, WarioWare Smooth Moves was honestly, it was kind of wackier, okay? And so, here's the thing, okay? The Japanese WarioWare Smooth Moves title, so the Japanese Wii game title for WarioWare Smooth Moves was Dancing Made in Wario. That's kind of what it translates to in the English language. Then, guess what? The Japanese title for WarioWare Move It is Super Dancing Made in Wario. So, if we, you know, us Americans and, you know, English speakers, if we got the game WarioWare Smooth Moves and say that WarioWare Move It was called Super WarioWare Smooth Move, it's a sequel. It's a sequel. So that's kind of what it is. That's the exact case that I just described in Japan. They know it's a sequel. For us, it looks like a brand new, I mean, obviously it's brand new, but it doesn't look connected. However, it does appear to be the sequel to WarioWare Smooth Moves. That's a cool little fact. I did not know that, nor could I recognize that. But dude, WarioWare Smooth Moves is one of the best WarioWare games. If you've not played it, I don't know how much it costs. You have to play it on the Wii. I'm sorry, you have to. It's not like a, well, you know, maybe I'll play it. Hopefully it's not too expensive. No, play it. It's a really good game. Especially play it before WarioWare Move It releases in November. With that said, you're getting a sequel. All is well in the world. Now, that has not been officially confirmed by Nintendo as far as I know, but when you have a game with the exact same title but Super in front of it, you know, you have to assume it's a sequel. So, there we have that. Then, guys, if you are waiting on Pikmin 4, it's just like this thing. It's like, where is Pikmin 4? Comes out in less than a month. I'm in the middle of Pikmin 2 trying to beat that game. But apart from that, guys, if you're a Pikman or a Pikwoman or a Pikmin fan, that rhymes, okay? There are Pikmin Nintendo Switch Online icons available right now. So when there are Switch Online icons available, normally there are 3 waves, 4 waves, sometimes like 5 waves for a set of icons. There are Pikmin icons available now, but there are only 2 waves. Now, sorry to break the news to you, but Wave 1 lasted from June 21st to June 28th, which is when I'm posting this podcast. So if you see this, if you're seeing this and you just found out, I'm so sorry. You know, there's nothing I can do. It's gone now. But, you know, that will never happen again. It's a very rare circumstance that something happens within a week and I don't report on it, because it happened on June 21st. And that's the day after I posted this podcast. You know, maybe I'll put, like, on Twitter, pick up Wave 1 if you forgot, or I'll put it in my Discord. Join my Discord so that if there's ever a random piece of news that I cannot report in a timely manner, you will know, okay? So I'll put a reminder in my Discord this evening. But Wave 1 was available until June 28th. But hey, I mean, if you missed that, okay, like, Wave 2 is available now from June 28th to July 5th. And you have that out there, okay? You have that. But let me tell you, if you're still upset about the Wave 1 icons being gone, June 28th, which is today as of posting this podcast, is the day that the Pikmin 4 demo has released. So I'm stuck in June 27th recording this podcast, but for you, I mean, it's out. We got that information shared in the direct, so go and play that if you would like. Or maybe if you're still playing Pikmin 1 and 2, Pikmin 3, whatever it is, maybe play those first and then play the Pikmin 4 demo after all that. That's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not touching it until I beat Pikmin 2 and 3. I don't know. It's not for me. Maybe if I beat Pikmin 3 early it is, but we'll see. I'm trying to beat all the Pikmin games before Pikmin 4 comes out. I don't know if I can do that, but hey, I'm trying over here, okay? So, we'll see. Then, still for June 22nd news, we have a few more bits of news for this one day. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, guys. This got an update. Now, we saw the DLC get shown off in the last Direct, okay? We saw it get shown off. And so, with DLC comes a game update, okay? Now, normally, game updates are like, updated to version 3.1.2 or updated to 4.12. Guys, guess what version Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope was updated to? I kid you not. 1.3.2219412. I mean, how much more? Just call it 1.221 or 1.3.2 or 1.3.22. Like, that's a lot of numbers for absolutely no reason. That's a lot of numbers. So, I don't know. But if you're into that game and you're buying the DLC, there's 2 patch notes from the update. One of them being that this update adds support for the second set of additional content from the Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope Season Pass, The Last Spark Hunter, and also several issues were fixed and various adjustments were made to improve the gameplay experience. Various adjustments. Someone better look into that. They're changing things without you knowing. I'm kidding. But one more piece of news for June 22nd, we have The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. It's honestly been a little bit that a decent Zelda piece of news has been in the news, apart from the fake Zelda movie rumor that we had discussed, where that actually turned out to be false. We have a statistical rumor from Twitch themselves. So, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom made it on Twitch's top 10 most streamed games for what I believe is the last month or so. I mean, it's a big game. It's probably going to be Game of the Year if all goes well. I think it deserves to be. I can't wait for it to win Game of the Year. Like, it certainly deserves to. Anyways, it is number 9, top 9th best or most streamed game on Twitch, and it has 37 million hours of the game streamed, obviously from thousands and thousands of different people playing it, but it is just behind Apex Legends that has 39 million hours of streamed gameplay. I will say, I thought Apex Legends was like a knockoff of Fortnite that we all kind of picked up back when Fortnite was dying in like 2018 or something. And then I thought it had just died. Like, there was a phase where me and my friends were playing Apex, and then for me it died. I can't believe it's like still a thing. Maybe I'm just like out of the loop. I'm probably out of the loop. It just kind of shocked me a little bit, you know? It shocked me. But anyways, number 9 is still very good. For all the great games out there, for a Nintendo one to be number 9 is pretty big. So, little golf clap for the Zelda developers. Nice one. Then, guys, June 23rd, we still have a little bit to go until the current date, June 28th, although the only thing is, it gets a little bit slower as we go. So, let's just keep on going. Slower as in, like, slow news. You know, not like more news for, you know, as long as we go on. You kind of get it. It becomes slower. Then, June 23rd, guys, we reported on this during a YouTube short, but I think it's just big enough to bring back up during this podcast. So, if you don't know, there was a Nintendo shareholders meeting held that we'll actually get into more of it later on in the second segment of news, which is then if this is segment 1, in segment 3, we discuss more of it. So, a Nintendo fan spent $3,500, and they spent it on Nintendo stock just to attend the shareholders meeting and rant about Splatoon 3. Okay, like, you can spend $3,500 and, you know, maybe buy Switches for your whole family so then we can all play Splatoon 3, or they can all play, rather. You know, you can donate it. They spend it on stock, which you can sell and, you know, get your money, obviously. But like, it's just so random. So they spent $3,500 on stock, and then they were able to attend the shareholders meeting, which has big people in there, like Shuntaro Furukawa, who is the current Nintendo president. Very presidential man, right? So all money was spent on the shares. And what did this person rant about? You know, you could rant about the maps being faulty. I don't think that's even a real thing. But like, if this person thought they were, you could rant about that. You could rant about, you know, where's the next console? You could rant about whatever. They rant about how there is supposedly more customization for females than there is for males. Now, when I made the YouTube short about this, a lot of people, I saw two very common comments. One of them being, well, it's a stock. He can just get his money back. So it's a very well spent, you know, purchase. I don't know. I mean, if you're going to attend, I would ask like a real question. Like, you know, what can you say about the next console? I don't know. And then the other common comment was, he's not wrong. Or, he or she. They are not wrong. Which, I mean, I can't give my input on that. Because while I play Splatoon 3, like, I don't know enough to, like, give my comment on whether there seems to be more female customizations, because I've not messed around and used every customization. I just used the floppy fish mascot or whatever, and the whole like fish uniform mascot thing from the amiibo, whatever it is. I just used that, and that's fine for me. So I can't really speak on customization kind of stuff, but that's the rant. And so obviously, when someone's like saying this, it's insane. Here's the exact quote of the rant. Quote, "From the 2021 Fall Direct and all of the next year trailers always showed the girl character. There were people like me who were looking forward to playing as a boy, and every day we were filled with dread that we wouldn't be able to." So while you can, I guess, play as a boy, like I would say my character, I mean, I don't believe that you can pick a gender in the game. That was what I heard. But like, I think it works out either way. And so the president, Shuntaro Furukawa, actually interrupted this person and just said, "Thank you for your interest in playing our game. We appreciate your valuable opinion." Which is just, it's just such a business answer. Which, I mean, you can't blame him for. Like, when you're running a company like this, you have to give some, like, you know, buddy answer. And that's the buddy answer. Like, it's just how they want to do business. I mean, that's one way to stop someone from ranting. But apparently, it's not like he you know, interrupted because he didn't want to hear about that kind of stuff. It was mainly because it was going on for way too long. Like, it just was kind of like this ongoing, going kind of thing. So he cut them off, and that was that. You know, bro, I have to attend one of these meetings, man. I'm gonna ask about whether or not they're Mario Matter fans. You know, I'm gonna do that. Let's go. Anyways, our next piece of news is actually for those who like free things, like that Pokemon code. We have another free thing to share with you, okay? My Nintendo is giving out free wallpapers for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, kind of as a way to thank you for your support on the movie and, you know, all in all, giving them over $1 billion in revenue. I mean, it's fantastic, right? It's great. We're just giving the money, and here's the thank you. We get a JPEG. That's what we get as a thank you. Which, you can't complain, right? Like, it's a cool thing. But they're giving us a free wallpaper of Mario, Peach, and Toad sitting on a mushroom platform. It is obviously a Mario movie-themed wallpaper. And they're giving you this on my Nintendo for 0 platinum points. It is totally free. Here's the only weird thing, though. I don't know if they want you to have this, because when I was looking for it, I was like, okay, if you've ever used my Nintendo, you would know for wallpapers and that kind of stuff, you would go to the PC and smartphone rewards. Maybe it was just my browser. Maybe it's totally fine for you. I don't know for sure because this is my experience. I could not find it anywhere. I scrolled to the bottom. I checked every single one. I went to the featured items. I could not find this wallpaper anywhere. I couldn't find it. The only way I found it was clicking the link they provided. And through doing that, I was able to actually, redeem the wallpaper. But I don't know. I'm not sure if they want it to be like a social media, like you have to go on here, find their post, click the link, then you can get it. Because it doesn't seem open to everybody. I don't know. Once again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a glitch on their end. Maybe it's there right now. It's very easy to find. But in my experience, yesterday and even today I checked, I couldn't find it. So with that said, if you cannot find it on your My Nintendo, I will leave a link to get it in the description. Once I clicked on the link, it was no problem at all. I got it, and I redeemed it, and I downloaded it. So once you have the link, no problem. But yeah, it's just a bit of a weird one to find. Then moving on from that, we got Fire Emblem released on the Game Boy Advance, Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack Library. What a long headline. That was released. Now, we heard word about this coming to the Game Boy Advance library. I believe it was last week or so. We had heard about this. We saw a trailer for it on the official YouTube channel for Nintendo. And this piece of news is straightforward. I'm not going to dive into the whole summary of the game, but I've never played the game. I've never really been a Fire Emblem guy, nor was I a big Game Boy Advance player. I do have a Game Boy Advance, but never really, I guess it wasn't the console that I grew up with, I would say. I kind of grew up with GameCube, which was before the Game Boy Advance had released, obviously. That was 2001, and I believe GBA released in 2003. But that was what my family had, I'm saying. Like, we had a GameCube, not a Game Boy Advance at that time. So, I didn't grow up with the Game Boy Advance, but it is out there. And just for some info, it's rated 88 on Metacritic, which pretty much signals a good game. It's probably a real nice game. So, Fire Emblem, Game Boy Advance, and they probably wouldn't, port a game that they weren't proud of. So, you can definitely count on Fire Emblem, Game Boy Advance to be a pretty solid game. I wouldn't port a bad one. There you go. Check it out. Then, a bit of an interesting one. The Japan Baskin Robbins has announced a Splatoon 3 collaboration. So, if you remember correctly, or at all, I shouldn't say correctly, it's a pretty easy thing to remember. Last summer of 2022 is when Nintendo had collabed with Cold Stone. I believe it was America. It was mainly an American thing. I'm not sure if they had it in other regions. They had collabed with Cold Stone locations to bring us Kirby ice cream, Animal Crossing ice cream, and I believe Mario Kart ice cream. They were all cool little flavors. And it was a great idea, but I don't know if it's Cold Stone's fault, if it was Nintendo's fault. Not every single location, but the one that I went to messed mine up totally, wrong. Well, first of all, I don't think I was able to even choose what cup size I wanted my ice cream in, which I'm not sure if that was normal, but it was weird, I'll say that. And they showed these promo pictures of the ice cream, and it looked nothing like the promo pictures, which it's supposed to, because I saw pictures on Twitter where it looked just like the promo pictures. In short, guys, my Cold Stone and other Cold Stones that I had heard about, because I had checked to make sure that I was not the only one with the issue, messed it up totally. Totally wrong. It wasn't great. So they're trying their hand with Baskin Robbins, making Splatoon 3 ice creams, cookies, all this cool stuff. So, boy, do I wish I was in Japan right now. So, this promotion, this collaboration runs from June 30th, which is in 2 days as of posting, to July 20th. So it's kind of a summer thing. I'm surprised it doesn't go longer than that, because summer does it kind of lingers around until August or so. So June 30th to July 20th, all this year. You can actually, along with the food that I'll get into in a minute, you can actually earn a Splatoon 3 Baskin Robbins sticker by checking in with the My Nintendo account that you own. Now, I assume it's while supplies last, because that part of the whole promotion is free. Those might go quick. But anyways, what is the promotion exactly? So there are, I believe, about 5 new menu items here. One of them being the super cool tricolor fruit punch ice cream cone. Now this has 3 flavors in it. It's got peach, grape, and soda. Then we have the tricolor pop, which I believe is the same thing from what I've seen in the translations. It's the same peach, grape, and soda, but it's in a bowl, and it includes a super sea snail cookie, which honestly, that sounds like the most Splatoon 3 thing ever. I want to try the cookie. It sounds pretty good. Then we have the tricolor Turf War Crush soda. You get to mix up yellow and blue syrup. Enjoy that. Then you have the squid-shaped ice cream box, and it includes an ice pack. Now, that's what the listing says. An ice pack? Is that like what you use like when you fall on the playground in 2nd grade? Like, what is an ice pack? Is it like the ice, you put water in this ice tray? No, because it would say ice tray. But is it a faulty translation? Does it come with an ice tray? I have no clue. It comes with something. Translating Japanese to English, it's not the easiest thing. Google Translate ain't always right. We also have a Splatoon 3 ice cream cake. Now that sounds like the highlight of the entire promotion. A Splatoon 3 ice cream cake. Now this one, if you live in Japan, limited stock, my friends. Like, you better go day 1 and just feast on this Splatoon 3 ice cream. You better go. I mean, it's not often that we see really any kind of cake from Nintendo. You better go quick. It's gonna run out. Next thing you know, someone beat you to it. Like, boo-hoo. Go on June 20th. Or June 30th. It's your only chance, okay? So, there you go. Baskin Robbins, Splatoon 3, all is well in the neighborhood. Then, one thing we got here, guys. I'll be honest, like, I don't know everything going on with this Microsoft FTC case. I hear this is going on. I believe it has, a problem with Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. And here's a thing. Here's some quote that Microsoft's gaming CEO Phil Spencer said about Call of Duty running on the Switch. He said he believes it would run great compared to other Switch games. Okay, guys, Call of Duty, Nintendo Switch. How well do you think this game runs on Switch hardware? Call of Duty, probably runs great on PS5 and Xbox. But you look at the Switch, 2017 hardware, handheld, not even just 2017 hardware. It's just old. It's old and it's not great. It's not great. It's not good. It's not phenomenal. So how do you want to run Call of Duty on this console? It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It really is not going to work. And while it may work, it's not going to work. Like, it'll probably be 720p, 30 FPS, but for this guy's vision to be it'll run great compared to other Switch games. Dude, other Switch games run amazing. Like, Mario Kart 8 runs amazingly. Now, Mario Kart 8 and Call of Duty are not the exact same thing, but I have a hard time believing that it'll run great compared to other Switch games. What are other Switch games? Like the mobile games being ported to Switch? What is a other Switch game? Because it'll probably run better than, like, I don't know, what's that one game, like Ark Survival? Whatever game, third-party game got ported to the Switch that ran terribly. It'll run fine, but you're making big promises. I'll believe it when I see it, okay? There's that. Our last piece of news for June 23rd here, we have Japanese Pikmin 4 plushies announced. Now, which ones might you ask? We got an Ochi plush, who is the dog companion from Pikmin 4, that was announced for Japan. And then we also have the Ice Pikmin plush announced for Japan. Now, I bring it up because although they are Japan exclusive, you can still get these. It'll take some shipping, but I do tend to find that when I want a Japanese plushie, they pop up either on a site called Play Asia, which is where I've bought them from before. That's a very good site. Or they also can come from eBay. eBay has some. They'll ship them right to you. You do have to pay, in my experience, I've paid like $10, $12 shipping. Like, it's not insanely terrible. It's not like $80 for a plush. It does depend on who it's from and how big the plush is, though. So don't take my word on $10, $12 shipping. But that's what I've had to do in my experience. So those two plush are coming through. Now, if you really don't care about the quality of your plush, I did actually find there is an Ochi plush on Amazon right now. I have no clue the brand just because it's not official. It's not like a very named brand. I think it's like a Chinese brand I've never heard of who are making an Ochi plush on Amazon. So that's available now. I don't think it's prime shipping, so it wouldn't be here in a timely manner, not a manly timer. Timely manner, not a manly manner, timely manner, but it's low quality. I wouldn't buy it. It's like $25. Just wait for the this plush is from Sane Boeki, that company. So they're pretty quality. They make all kinds of plush for Nintendo. I'd buy from them if you want any of that. But I am hoping that like we do get the Ochi plush in America, because honestly, that one sells like hotcakes. Like, if you know Poochie from Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, like that guy, making him an amiibo, like they knew that was going to sell so well. So I think same thing with Ochi. You make an Ochi amiibo and or an Ochi plush available to everybody, it sells so great. So definitely give it to everyone. If that's a Japanese exclusive thing, I'll be upset. Then, guys, deep breath. Moving on to June 24th. Guess what, guys? June 24th was a Saturday. And you know me. I come on the podcast with so much news. Like, a crazy amount of news. There's no real news on June 24th. Now, we do know that Nintendo doesn't like to announce things on the weekends. They almost never do. So that's a big reason why there's no news there. Now, I will say there was a little bit of news, but we actually moved it over to the next segment of the podcast because it kind of has to do with that. But really, there was no like big news. So we're skipping on through to June 25th. And while there is news from June 25th, I mean, it's not much, and there's one piece of news. So we'll do this, then get to June 26th. When I said the news gets slower, this is what I meant. Like, there's not as much. Here we go. June 25th, everybody want to switch gameplay. Our first look at gameplay was shown from the Dutch Comic-Con via Don Koopman. So, Don Koopman, I believe, was at this Dutch Comic-Con, and I asked Don if I could show the footage on my live stream last night. He said, yep, all good. I assume I can show it on the podcast too. So I'll show some of it. Now, the reason I bring this up is because, you already have the other Everybody Want to Switch trailer on the actual official YouTube channel, but this shows people playing it and what it really, really looks like, how it's played, how it's demonstrated, all that kind of stuff. Now, we did see Nintendo kind of put out a similar thing. They had put out people playing it, like they had flown out, they flew out content creators to play Everybody Want to Switch, but in my opinion, it was harder to tell what was actually going on. So this Dutch Comic-Con video, I believe, does show a little bit better, kind of how the game runs. So check it out if you'd like. It is on the Game Explain YouTube channel. Then, moving on to June 26th, which was a Monday, we have 3 new Super Mario Bros. Figures announced. Or should I say announced? I don't know. They were at a Walmart. They were leaked at a Walmart, courtesy of our friend here on Twitter. So the person who tweeted it out was Fraternia.com on Twitter, and then they credit Panda93 on Discord for the picture. That's where all the credit goes for this image on screen. We have a leaked bunch of figures of... Okay, guys, can I say this first one's name? If you watched the direct presentation last week, you would know that Kamek or Kamek is coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But the announcer or the narrator said his name is Kamek. I've always called him Kamek. I don't know if I want to call him Kamek anymore. I'll call him Kamek. So one is Kamek. Kamek is there. I might actually buy the Kamek one. I think that it looks pretty cool. He also has his little wand as an accessory. Then you have the Cat Mario figure. Very self-explanatory, but it comes with a question block. And I'm not sure if there's a point for that question block, because if you've seen these figures come out over the past couple months, you would know that most of them come with some accessory for the character to hold. I don't think Cat Mario is able to hold a question block in his little figure hands, but that is included. Maybe there's something cool inside of there. And then there's also another Peach figure. I believe, there was a first one, and it was kind of creepy. So they've now released a Peach figure with her motorcycle gear on, and it comes with a blue shell with wings. Now, that is another one that I do not believe she can hold, that her figure can hold, but it's a cool little, I guess, accessory to put right next to her. Same thing with the Cat Mario and the question block. Same thing there. Now, Kamek can hold his accessory wand, but for the other ones, looks like some detail and decoration. So, June 26th, that's there. I do not know when they release, but I would have to assume a Walmart employee took that photo. Maybe, if they're already at Walmart's, maybe within the next week or so, maybe even like now. I have no clue. Maybe in the next week, maybe early July or so, somewhere around there, we might just see those in stores. Then more on June 26th. We are almost on here. And then moving over to our other segments, we have the Pikmin 4. Okay, now Pikmin 4 was available for some press to play over the past few days. Press was playing it so then they can kind of get a feel for the game and eventually, at the end of this all, form a review. Now, they'll, obviously get actual review copies. I don't think that review copies have been sent out. Maybe they have, but I've seen some previews pop up that kind of detail the gameplay. Once again, I don't know, is that like a, copy? I don't think it's a press copy. I think like they all had to go somewhere and they were playing it and there were Nintendo reps right around them saying that you can play this part of the game or whatever. I think that's like what it was. And apparently, breaking news, guys, there is a brand new feature coming to Pikmin 4 that allows you to rewind your gameplay, okay? So if you've ever played a Pikmin game, whether it be Pikmin 1, 2, or 3, you would know that unfortunate things can happen. Whether it be your Pikmin dying, like 30 Pikmin dying all at one time, whether it be you lose your most valuable Pikmin, whatever the case is, if you really want to restart that day of Pikmin, you would have to close out your entire game. I believe you have to close it out for Pikmin 2. Pikmin 1 lets you return to your previous save, and I'm not sure for Pikmin 3, but at the most inconvenience, you would have to restart your entire game just to restart your progress and get your 30 killed Pikmin back. So now in Pikmin 4, if you make a grave mistake, 30, or rather your entire team of Pikmin dies, guess what? There is a rewind feature in the game. So let's say I'm walking around, I'm cruising, I'm Olimar, I'm walking. One of those big frog guys just kills all my Pikmin. I can rewind to, I'm not sure what it'll be. I assume kind of like a checkpoint kind of thing. I can rewind to a few minutes ago and have all those guys back and get another crack at whatever I was doing. That's very cool. At the same time, though, I almost feel like it takes away from the challenge that Pikmin is. I'm in the middle of Pikmin 2, trying to beat all Pikmin games before Pikmin 4 comes out. And I think it's a nice challenge, not being able to rewind the game and get your Pikmin back, because with you being able to rewind time and get everything that you lost back, it allows for more like free play. Like I'm not cautious anymore. I'm just kind of like walking through enemies, hoping no one dies. But if they do, I can just rewind. No biggie. Like, I'm not going to be as cautious. I'm not going to be very strategic. I'm just going to, throw random Pikmin everywhere. Now, I'm sure you're obviously not forced to play with the rewind feature. It's just more for newcomers. So I don't want to sound like I'm hating on the game. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, I guess I won't be using it. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying here. I will not use the rewind feature probably. Maybe like once or so just to see like how it works and everything. Maybe once, maybe twice, but I don't think it'll be a big thing for me. But I do really, really like that though. I do like it. Not to like, talk all negative. I do really like it because like there's people who have never even played Pikmin before. If you didn't own a Wii, if the Switch was your first console, you might have played Pikmin 3, I guess. But like there's some who have never played Pikmin. So to make it a bit easier for all players and especially newcomers is very nice with the rewind feature. I do like that, and I do want to see more of that. Maybe we can get, gameplay footage of that, like from Nintendo. I've not dove into every single, like, if we search Pikmin 4 preview here, here we are. I mean, there are some, but I'll be honest, I've just kind of read things. I haven't, like, looked at all of them. However, it should look pretty good. I didn't look at the previews because I don't wanna have anything spoiled. However, if you want to look at what the whole rewind thing looks like, I'm not sure if they're even able to show the rewind. I'll leave links to some previews in the description if you want to look at everything shown off from big companies like IGN. There are some like individual content creators who showed some gameplay. It's cool stuff. So check it out if you would like. Then guys, we're almost done here. June 27th, guys, we got a piece of news. That is today, Tuesday. It was released last night on June 26th. But, when that kind of happens, like, Nintendo releases a lot of things at night, whether it be an update, a patch, our next topic actually, our next headline here. They do things at night, but they count it as it being the next day. Like, if it happens at 9 p.m. on June 26th, you call it June 27th. So, it is June 27th news. The Nintendo Switch has got a rebootless update. Now, what does this mean? Well, the console was updated, but you don't have to reboot. The version number, to my knowledge, doesn't change. It is still... Is it 1. Geez, where are my notes here? Nintendo Switch update. It's 16.0.3. Sorry, guys. 16.0.3. That number is still the same. All it changes, and this is courtesy of @OatmealDome on Twitter. They went in there, and they found that this changes the bad words list. Now, normally I will update you on like what words were banned. But I don't feel comfortable saying what was changed around and stuff. So I'll leave the original tweet link in the paste bin. I mean, can I even do that? I mean, it's like I just don't feel comfortable. @OatmealDome on Twitter. If you want to find it, go and search it out. It will not be in the description. But the bad words list is updated. There you go. Then, June 28th, our last piece of news until we get to the big Nintendo Direct stuff, guys. Mario Kart Tour, the mobile Mario Kart for those who want to play on the go but are not bringing their entire Switch or 3DS or DS or whatever you play it on, Game Boy Advance, whatever. Mario Kart Tour right on your smartphone. My phone is charging, and it has 68% primed and ready to go for some Mario Kart Tour. They are putting out a brand new Mario Kart Tour. It is called the Night Tour. Where's the morning tour? Okay, so the Night Tour, right, takes place on June 28th, which is a Wednesday. Now, as I said, during the Pikmin topic, our next topic, also releases during the night, but it's considered the next day. This releases Tuesday night, somewhere around 11 p.m., but it's considered June 28th is when it starts, and it ends on July 12th. Now, this tour in the game will feature the N64 Mario Raceway track, the Game Boy Advance Luigi Circuit, and the GameCube Waluigi Stadium from Mario Kart Double Dash. So, those 3 tracks are featured in the tour. However, there's much more featured in this tour. You'll be able to race on some Rome Avanti type courses, which honestly just look beautiful. Also, if you are a Mario Kart Wii veteran, you might know of the track Moonview Highway. This is coming to Mario Kart Tour as well. You also have 2 brand new Mii racing suits shown off in the tour. You have the Fishbone suit and the light green suit. Those are 2 new suits to get if you use your Mii in Mario Kart Tour. And then we also got teased the next suit for next tour, which will happen sometime around July 12th. Obviously it'll probably be like July 11th at 9 p.m. But around that time, there's a suit, and it looks just like Wiggler. There appears to be a Wiggler suit coming to Mario Kart Tour. Now, that is my prediction. I cannot tell, as it is a black silhouette. But if you look at that and you don't think it looks like Wiggler, please let me know what you think it looks like, because I think it looks a lot like Wiggler. That is Wiggler, all right? Wiggler Mii suit potentially coming soon. With that said, that is all of our headlines for the headline segment. Let's go ahead. Let's move on to our first news segment of the day, apart from the headlines and stuff, talking about the Nintendo Direct, all the info that came out after it, and what you might have missed. Let's go ahead. Let's go. So, guys, we are 1 week removed from the Nintendo Direct that had aired on June 21st, 2023. And by now, I'm sure you have seen it. We got games like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Detective Pikachu Returns, Super Mario RPG, so many games in there, some DLC, some events. And in case you have somehow not seen it, I will run down the bigger games in a second. But I kind of wanted to go over, I already made a video on my thoughts of the Direct, but I want to go through news that came out after the Direct had aired, like brand new news, okay? This was not all shown in the Direct, and we got the word, all right? So let's go over the bigger games that were shown off in the Direct. Now, by bigger games, there's a pretty dang good amount in here. I'm not only saying the games made by Nintendo. I'm saying games that you would probably recognize, okay? So beginning with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero DLC, Sonic Superstars, Palia, Persona 5 Tactica, the Splatoon 3 Splatfest was announced. The teams are Vanilla versus Strawberry versus Mint Chip on July 14th to July 16th. Detective Pikachu Returns, Super Mario RPG being remade for the Switch, an untitled Princess Peach game, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon from 3DS coming over to the Switch. In some regions, it's called Luigi's Mansion 2. Batman Arkham Trilogy, Just Dance 2024, Fae Farm, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC number 2, Pikmin 4 gameplay, Pikmin 1 and 2 coming to Switch, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 5 DLC, Star Ocean The Second Story R, WarioWare Move It, Zelda and Ganondorf Tears of the Kingdom Amiibo, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is a brand new 2D Mario platform game. Now, those are the big games. I'm sure you know this, you're excited, all that. let's get into the first bit of news, which I think is actually pretty interesting. We got some file sizes of these games. So if you're mainly a digital guy, you have that loaded 1 terabyte SD card, you are just rolling in all the dang digital games, getting those eShop gift cards through. This is for you, my friend. So if you're getting digital, here are the file sizes for 5 of the games in the Direct, the bigger ones, okay? I mean, some are not even on the eShop, like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon or the Peach game. We don't know all of them, but we do have sizes for 5 of the bigger games, I will say. So let's begin here. Star Ocean, the second story R, will take 13.7 of your precious gigabytes should you get it digitally. There you go. Detective Pikachu Returns at a whopping, honestly, more than I thought, 10 gigabytes. 10.0. Just 10. I mean, that's a big game. That's a big game, guy. I mean, I knew it wouldn't be small, but 10 is bigger than you might think. Now, Super Mario RPG is 8. WarioWare Move It is 1.5 gigs. And the one that shocked me was Super Mario Bros. Wonder, 4.5 gigabytes. Now, for a game like WarioWare Move It, we can expect 1.5 because it is a bunch of micro games shoved into one Switch game. It's not going to be too much on the console or on the data. But for Mario Wonder, I mean, yeah, it's a 2D platforming game, and it makes sense that it shouldn't be too much, 4.5, smaller than I thought. As I just said, it does make sense, though. So there are all of your file sizes. I mean, for us physical gamers, we're just winning right now. Like, if you want to buy all those games, quick math here. 13 plus 10, 23, plus 8, 31, 33.5, and then 30. That's 38 gigabytes for all the games. Physical gamers are on top, guys. Let's go. I'm kidding. I respect all digital gamers and all physical gamers. You like what you like, okay? You like what you like. It could be cleaner on your shelf if you buy them digitally, or it might fill the shelves. It might fill the shelves if you buy it physically. So up to you, my friends. But those are all the sizes for you. And then, guys, guess what? More for our digital friends. Our digital friends are also winning right now because a lot of the games shown off in the Direct are going to be eligible for Nintendo Switch game vouchers. Now, if you don't know what a game voucher is for the Switch, essentially you can buy a pair of tickets for $100, and you can buy 2 games of your choice that Nintendo has approved of with those tickets. So if I bought the tickets for $100, I have 2. I choose Pokemon Violet and I choose Pikmin 3, okay? I just spent $100 on both games, but I bought them digitally, and the normal price for those games are $60 and $60. It would equal $120. So I just got them for $100 because I committed to buying 2 games digitally. So I saved $20. That's what it is. So there are more games being added to the list of games that you can do that with, and those games are Pikmin 4, Detective Pikachu Returns, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, WarioWare Move It, and Super Mario RPG. So pretty much, and I say pretty much, I stress pretty much, every Nintendo first-party game shown off in the Direct. Like all the big ones, Those are all voucher eligible. So if you spend $100, you can go ahead and buy Mario Bros. Wonder and, I don't know, Tears of the Kingdom, which would originally cost you $130 because Zelda is $70. Get it for $100. Save money right there. So digital it is. So our digital gamers are winning. Anyways, another piece of news, and actually our last piece of news, post-Direct news. This is a little bit upsetting, but it kind of makes sense. So you might have noticed something. If you've been a pretty big Pikmin fan over the years, you would know that the Pikmin logos have a certain look to them. They're more flowery. They have this flowery design and texture around them. Then if you saw the Pikmin 4 logo get revealed, you would know it doesn't have that look to it. It's a bit more just firm. It's just the letters, no real flowery design. So, I don't know if I like that as much, but the point of me telling you this is Nintendo has redone the logo of Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Switch. If you have that game, the home icon has been updated to a remade Pikmin 3 logo. Now on screen is the before and the after. I gotta be honest, I like the before a lot better. I just do. I just like the texture and the whole design around it. I just like it a whole lot better. Maybe that's just me. Man, I don't know. It looks alright. Like, it looks good. They kind of kept it with the 3 in Pikmin 3. But I kind of miss the old one. Anyways, that has changed if you do have Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Thankfully, I don't. I have Pikmin 3, but it's on the Wii U, not on the Switch. So, I'll be good there. I'll be good. I'm chilling. I'm set. That one will never change because they do not care enough to go back on the Wii U and change the logo of the game. So, they won't do that. But there is Pikmin 3 news for you. Then, guys, our next topic is a big one. We told you about the shareholders meeting for Nintendo, and President Shuntaro Furukawa spoke on the next Nintendo console, backwards compatibility, all that kind of stuff, scalping and stuff. Let's go ahead. Let's get into what he said about the next console. Now, guys, I was telling you about how that Splatoon 3 fan ranted about there not being enough male customizations. At that same meeting, right, you get good old presidential Shuntaro Furukawa there, talking Nintendo, talking the next console. Kind of, he didn't, reveal too much on it, but he does discuss it a little bit from what he can say, which I don't want to, mislead you. It's not much, but it's something that has me interested, and I'm reporting on it. So, at this meeting, people can ask questions. There is a Q&A segment. Kind of like how we do a Q&A segment on this podcast. It's kind of like that. So, some people were asking questions, and while there were a lot of questions asked, we have some of the big and notable ones right here, ready to read to you. So, beginning here, somebody had asked Shuntaro Furukawa how it would be transferring from the Switch to the next console, as with the Wii to Wii U, that was real easy. You couldn't really do that from Wii U to Switch. How would that go? And he says, as for the transition from Nintendo Switch to the next generation machine, we want to do as much as possible in order to smoothly transition our customers while utilizing the Nintendo account. Essentially, pretty much confirming that their plan is to have the Nintendo account on the next system. That's cool because I do like the whole concept of My Nintendo and the account system. It'd be real easy, especially if it's backwards compatible, if you can just log into your account and re-download all your games. That would be real convenient for the next console. I hope that's what we can do. And I'm sure they are thinking about it. Even with Wii to Wii U, while it was very simple, it was tedious. It was pretty tedious. You had to go back and forth, putting the SD card in the Wii, then go put it in the Wii U, prepare it for transfer, put it back in the Wii, then back in the Wii U. It was hard. So, with the Switch, whatever the next console may be, whether it's Switch 2, whether it's whatever it is, if it can be as simple as logging in, that'd be real neat. I would prefer that. Then, he was asked, Mr. Shuntaro Furukawa was asked, when this new console launches, okay, it'll come out, it'll be midnight released. Are you doing anything to stop scalpers? Here's what he had to say. With regard to resale measures when launching new hardware, we recognize that the most important thing is to first produce and ship in numbers that can meet customer demand. We will then consider whether there are any other possible measures that can be taken. So really, they're just going to ship out a buttload of new consoles, and then they're going to reevaluate and go look and see if they can do anything to prevent scalpers. In short, I don't think they're going to do anything, because the only real thing you can do to prevent scalpers is make it one per customer, and that's never been the case when I would go and buy a console. Like, I've been able to buy at least 2 consoles at one time. When I went to the Switch launch day back on March 3rd, 2017, I walked out with 2. One for me, I'm not a scalper. One for me and one for my brother. They let me buy 2. So the only thing that I can think of is you do one per person, one per customer. Apart from that, I mean, I don't really see how you stop scalping. Like, what if there's a big, like, just hire some employee, hire some intern to hold a sign that says no scalping. Like, what are you gonna do? There's no, like, real measure you can take to prevent that. Because even if you do one per customer, like, if you really need 2 consoles, let's say I buy the Switch 2 from Amazon, okay? I can then go on a different account and order it to my friend's house. Bam, I got 2. Or I can go to Target. Bam, I have 2. Or I can go to Walmart. Bam, I have 2 or 3. Or I can go to Best Buy. I have 4. Like it's not hard. If you just do that, while scalping is still possible because multiple stores exist, it's much less likely to happen, and there won't be as many being scalped. At the same time, though, if you're Nintendo, do you really care? Because, bro, like, if your console is selling, it's selling. And sure, let's say it costs $300. Sure, they're being scalped for $500, and they are selling at $500. You cannot make your price $500 because it'll make everyone be like, "What? Why is the Switch $500?" You know. And the only people that buy scalped things are people who need it really bad or just cannot wait any longer. If there's a scalped PS5 back when those were rare on eBay, you aren't buying it unless, 1, you are crazy hyped for the PS5, or 2, you're a parent and you need a Christmas gift. Like, that's who's buying scalped things. And if they really need it that bad, I mean, just, it's easier said than done, but just ship out more. Like, I don't know, like, how many consoles can you make and ship out, you know, before it's, like, not out of stock by the time that everyone leaves the store? I'm not trying to say they should ship 1,000 consoles to each Best Buy across America and all the other countries. I'm just saying, like, your biggest problem here is inventory. It just is. It's hard. It's hard to navigate. You got to ship some more, which they plan to do. But I just feel like consoles go out of stock for a while. And while the demand is much higher than the supply for them, like during the Wii era, it was rough to get your hands on a Wii in 2006. Like, it was rough. So they were always out of stock. Even like the Switch was out of stock for like months, you know? It was out for months. And it was rough. With the next console, like, it's really hard to stop scalping. Someone's going to get their hands on it and put it on eBay. Some diehard fan will buy it. I mean, scalping sucks. I don't think you can do anything to stop it. So when they say they're going to see if any other possible measures can be taken, I near guarantee you they come up with nothing. The only thing is one per customer, as we've been saying. That's the only thing you can do to prevent scalping like this. What else? Because if there was something else, Sony or Microsoft would have done it. Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing to do. So it sucks. But scalpers will scalp. I think it's just, you just gotta, if it's a midnight release, you gotta get there early, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like, when the next console comes out for me, I'm gonna pre-order it on whatever website it pops up on, and I'll be at a midnight release at like 9 a.m. I'll just show up then and just wait the entire day. Like, if scalpers are more committed than you, do they deserve to scalp? Probably not. But if you really want to guarantee a console, if you need one that bad, to show up as early as possible. That's just my advice. And then, there's one more big and notable thing. Now, somebody did ask him, I had read through it, somebody asked him, like, there's N64 Switch Online games. Can we ever get something like that for 3DS or like Wii or something? He didn't really comment on it. He said, in terms of specifics, I can't comment on that. And so I don't know if either A, that's a bad translation. Maybe he said that's not happening. I think he said, I'm pretty sure that he said I can't comment on that, because the translation wouldn't be that off. It would be pretty on point. So he said I can't comment on that. I don't know if that means they're working on it. I don't know if that means it's not happening. I don't know. He didn't want to say much about it. There's that. But otherwise, in terms of backwards compatibility for the next console, someone wanted to know if the next console would be backwards compatible, like how the Wii U was with the Wii, or how the 3DS was with the DS, and how all those games are not playable on Switch. Someone wanted to know, and while there's no like, yes, they will be, or no, they will not be, he does give out this quote. Quote, "We are always considering various things about the specifications of future hardware, but at this stage, I would like to refrain from making any specific comments about future hardware. As for the sales style of Nintendo Switch software, there are different types, like physical package software bought in stores, download versions of packaged software, and download-only software. And compared to previous game consoles, the ratio of digital sales has been increasing. As a company, we would like to continue proposing unique gameplay through dedicated game consoles that integrate hardware and software in the future. So please look forward to it." So, he's not giving us an answer here on the next console or anything like that. I mean, what did we expect, honestly? It's not much, although I do think the next console will be backwards compatible, mainly because, one, most consoles just are. Like, most are. Wii to GameCube, Wii U to Wii, 3DS to DS, DS to Game Boy Advance. Like, most just are. And there's a lot of good Switch games. Tears of the Kingdom is phenomenal. I think it has replay value. Same with Breath of the Wild or many Zelda games. I think that you bring it over to your next console so people do not have to re-hook up their Switch dock and do it that way. I think that you do bring that over. Yeah, there's a lot of great games. They shouldn't all just be left to die unless you want to re-hook up your dock. That's just my input, though. So we'll have to see on backwards compatibility. I do think that'll be a thing. Honestly, it'd be crazy if it wasn't. Anyways, that's what he had to say, the notable stuff he had to speak about. Let's move on to your favorite segment of the entire podcast, where we answer your questions Q&A style. Let's skadoodle. Alright guys, you know this segment. It's the one that you might even just be looking forward to the entire podcast, where we go through and we answer the questions you have asked me. Now, if you want to submit a question for the podcast, there are a few ways to do it. Quite the voice crack there. Voice cracking is not a good way of submitting a question. The first way is joining my Discord server. Now, I'm trying to get the Discord server more poppin'. I mean, it's pretty poppin' right now, but we're trying to get a partnered server. So if you join that, I will give you the exclusive, okay? it's probably a lot easier to get your question answered on Discord because there are less people in there. If you are not in the Discord, go ahead, feel free, join it in the description. There are less people asking questions in there. And then the other way, which is a bit harder to do, is on my YouTube community tab. So if you go on my page, on my YouTube channel page, and you scroll through, there's videos, shorts, there's a community tab. Every Sunday, I actually posted it on Monday because I forgot, but normally every Sunday, there is a little post that pops up that says, hey, hope you're well, Mario Matter questions. This episode airs June 28th. Feel free to leave your questions in the comments. It'll be right there. So I pull questions, 10 from Discord, 10 from YouTube, and there's that. Now, if you're sick of your question not getting answered, what you can do is become a YouTube channel member. The link is down below to do that, where you support the channel monetarily, and you get awesome perks like exclusive Mario Matter episodes. You get priority question. You get, in some cases, depending on which tier you choose, depending on that, you can get special videos or even early videos, things like that. So much good stuff. What are you waiting for? I can follow you on social media. Go and check it out. Become a channel member today. Channel members are great. All right. So we have 3 questions first from channel members. Then we'll get to the other 17 from everyone else. So beginning with F100 Games, channel member, thank you so much. They ask, do you think there will be another Nintendogs game? Honestly, I don't. Because if they were... Sorry, I don't think it'll be on Switch anyway. If they were going to make a brand new Nintendogs game, I think they would have done it already. They would have done it for the Switch. It's obviously not a big priority. Although there was a patent that was filed from Nintendo for a Nintendogs mobile game. So I think that could happen in the near future, maybe even like this fall or something, or announced this fall. But I don't think there will be another one on their main console like the Switch or whatever comes next. Mobile is possible. Then, also another Nintendogs question. Sonic Generations asks, do you think that your Nintendogs are safe? I think they're safe, but they're probably dead. I haven't been on there since late 2021. That's the last time I went on Nintendogs. So they're probably dead, okay? Like, I'm not going to lie and say, well, yeah, they're doing just fine. Like, no, they're probably dead. So they're dead. Are they safe? I mean, as long as there's, been no robbery, I would think so. Then Cam Games, final member question here, asks, what game have you ever been the most hyped for? What game was I the most hyped for? I think it's got to be Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Switch. Because Animal Crossing New Leaf, for those who do not know, is my favorite game of all time. So when there's a game coming out that is of the same series of your favorite game of all time, you got to be excited. Now, a close second would be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which was very recent. I was so excited. I read all the news leading up to it, and I went to the midnight release. So much fun. So that would be a second option, but for number 1, Animal Crossing New Horizons Unmatched. Then, non-member questions. Shadow Cloud asks, do you think that Tears of the Kingdom will get more amiibo after Ganon and Zelda are released? My guess is either... I won't say these 2 names because I don't want to, spoil... I mean, I guess one's not a spoiler, but, I just won't say the name. Well, no, sorry, I can say it. These aren't, spoiler names. If I said the other one, that could be spoiler. Rauru and Sonia, 2-pack or DLC-related amiibo. I think there will be some more. I think we'll get all 4 sages. 5... I think that we'll get 5, actually. Because there is, the one more at the end. I won't say that one because that one can be a little tiny bit spoilery. So I think all 4 and then the one at the end. Aurora amiibo, I mean, it's a great idea. I just feel like Rauru isn't as present as maybe some of the other characters are. So I'd probably say the 5 sages, and maybe like they should make a guardian amiibo. Or sorry, not a guardian. Oh gosh, a construct amiibo. A construct amiibo and the 5 sages. I think that needs to happen. DLC related amiibo, I'm not sure on. I think just those 6 would probably happen. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. Then Shadow Scar 808 asks, do you think when Metroid Prime 4 eventually gets a release date, they'll put Prime 2 and Prime 3 on the Switch? That's a good question. I don't know actually. It's weird. So I will say if Metroid Prime Remastered didn't come to the Switch in the way that it did, I would say yes. Now, what I mean by that is I think if they were going to bring 2 and 3 over, I think it would have been a trilogy. I think that they would have put all the games, all remastered, into a trilogy. I don't think they'll put out all of them individually. Like it's in the same situation as Pikmin 4. There's 3 games in the series. Obviously, Pikmin 4 is coming out. The third one is already on the Switch. But the other 2 were brought over in a pack. And I don't think they ever knew they were going to bring over Pikmin 1 and 2 when they brought over Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So I think if they could go back in time, I think they would put Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 all in like one little pack here. But I mean, because they already brought Metroid Prime Remastered, I don't see them bringing that over and then just throwing 2 and 3 in a random pack. I think it's either trilogy or nothing. So I don't think that they'll bring 2 and 3. I don't. But it'd be cool. Then, Frickin' Chicken 28 asks, what did it feel like when you first played your Nintendo Wii? That's fun. Okay, so the Wii wasn't my first console. So therefore, I do remember some of it because I was a little bit older. When I first played the Wii, I don't recall the exact moment, but I know what I thought of it. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I thought it was the coolest thing that I could hold this remote, point it at a TV, and I can do things. It was new to me because I was used to just playing the GameCube controller on the GameCube. That was what I was doing. That was what I was used to. You can put inputs into the console. That was it. But for this wireless white controller to work how it does, it was great. Wii Sports used it amazing. And I mean, it was revolutionary. That's kind of how I can describe it. One of my first games was definitely Wii Sports. My other first one might be Mario Bros. Wii. One of those 2 were my first Wii games. It was amazing. I have great memories with the Wii. However, I was still very, very young, so I can't give you all the details, but I do know what I thought of it. Then, Benno Klebs 7409 asks, what is your opinion about leakers? Should they continue, stop, or be able to leak certain information that Nintendo allows them to leak? I mean, if it was up to Nintendo, they would say no, but you're asking for my opinion. I kind of like it. I like it. But the only thing, I like leaks because it makes you get half excited, but not totally excited just yet because it is a leak. My only thing, honestly, is when that Puro guy leaked the Direct, that guy was spot on, 100%. The only thing is, when he got the first game right. So, the first game that he got right in the Direct was Detective Pikachu. When that was shown off and kind of confirmed to be right, it almost just ruined the rest of the direct because like I knew what was gonna happen, you know? Like I knew it. I knew Mario Wonder was gonna be at the end. I knew Pikmin 1 and 2 were coming in the middle, or whatever. So I like leaks, but I don't like a whole direct leak. I guess that's my only thing, really. Then Meme Machine 86 asks, in your opinion, which Nintendo franchise has the best soundtrack? I'll be biased and say Animal Crossing because that is my favorite franchise. But Zelda has great music, especially the Tears of the Kingdom main theme. That's a very, very good one. Mario, even like if you heard the music in the Mario Bros. Wonder trailer, that's phenomenal as well. I like Mario music. Either of those three. If I could choose one, going with my gut, I say Animal Crossing. Then, Skew by Lucas and the Cubes, 5772. What's your favorite amiibo? My favorite amiibo, I'm looking at my collection now. I can't even see part of it. I have like three. If that's okay. Let me grab them real quick. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay. Here are my three favorites. So, number one, we have Zelda. Zelda and the Loft Swing amiibo from Skyward Sword. This is great detail, and I do like this one a lot. It costs $25 though, which is like, it's not cheap, but it has great detail, and I like it a lot. Then we also have the Blathers amiibo from Animal Crossing. Blathers is just one of my favorite characters, so I can't even like keep him still. So I have him, and then my final one is the Chibi Robo amiibo. I just love his little plug on his head, and he's just like, I don't care what you think about Chibi Robo games, he's cute. Like, he's amazing. So, those are three of my favorite amiibos. If I had to choose one, probably Chibi Robo, honestly. The grass bottom, and he's cute. Like, he's cool. Let me put these back. A close contender, a very, very close contender would probably be the... Which one? One of these two links, either Tears of the Kingdom link or Twilight Princess link. Probably the Tears of the Kingdom one. This is probably a very close contender. I like both, though. All right. Boom, boom. Let's continue here. Pognus8968 asks, what was your first Nintendo handheld/console? My first console was the GameCube. My first game on there was Shrek 2. I played it with my family. And the first game that I kind of like took on was Luigi's Mansion. Now, that being my first console and one of my first games, I'm not going to tell you that I beat Luigi's Mansion when I was very, 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 very young on the GameCube. It's not the easiest game for a toddler to beat. But for a toddler, Shrek 2, I would just like mess around. Yeah, it was the GameCube. I did actually go back nowadays, though, and beat Luigi's Mansion. Great game. Then, CB the Legendary asks, do you own a Game Boy Player? I do not. So, my family might have, if we were into Game Boys back then. No one in my family owned a Game Boy until like a few years ago when my brother bought one off eBay. We just never were a Game Boy family. Like, the first... I shouldn't say that, but we were a little bit after the Game Boy era, and then we were all born. Me and my siblings. Me and my siblings were all born right around the Game Boy Advance era. So we were like growing up right then. We didn't even know what a Game Boy was, So we just never even got into it. And there's that for you. Never got into Game Boy Advance in its era. But I do have one now, and so therefore, I do not own a Game Boy Player. Then DK King 1996 asks, did you ever play any of the wrestling games from N64 and or GameCube? If so, which was your favorite? I have not, but the closest thing is I played UFC Throwdown on the GameCube, and that's not, I mean, it's not like fake wrestling, like it's not no WWE, but it's like a fighting game. I mean, can you count that? UFC Throwdown? I've played that. That's the closest thing, but in terms of like the wrestling games, no, I have not. Then, that's a weird username. It's like a special font. SCD79YT? Is that it? Here we go. How many 3DS/2DS systems do you have? And which one is your most prized? So I have two. I have the 2DS, Ocarina of Time, and I have a 2DS XL. I've got two. I want to own one more, like a Japanese one, soft modded Animal Crossing edition. That's a bucket list like splurge for some time this year. Maybe like this fall or something. I'll go ahead and splurge. My most prized, I mean, out of those two, probably just the probably the 2DS XL, just because I've had it longer. It's a better console, I'd say, than the 2DS. This is where I do all my main gaming for 2DS and 3DS. So I'd say my most prized is probably the 2DS XL. Then, The Hollow Turtle asks, would you play / buy the new WarioWare game? The new one? I'll probably buy it, yeah. I'll probably buy WarioWare Move It, yeah. Then LeVar asks, can you go pick up a chair? Can I pick up a chair? Okay. This one's heavy though. It's kind of heavy, but I can, in fact, pick up a chair. It's big. Do I have any like other chairs I can pick up? I don't. This is a heavy chair though. I can do it. Then the Hollow Turtle also asks, really a random question, but what is your favorite way to have an egg cooked? I can say like an omelet is like a way to have an egg cooked. Make me an omelet. I'm a very happy man there. Then, Mere Astonishment asks, what is the weirdest game you've played? The weirdest game I've played. Weirdest game. Nothing's come to mind. Maybe like Gang Beasts, which is a very, very fun game. However, it's weird. I like me some Gang Beasts. That's a very, very fun game. It's just odd, but I love it. And that's like why I love it, you know? Then, also from Mere Astonishment, what is your favorite breakfast food? Odd question, but I'm curious. Favorite breakfast food, almost every morning, it's an omelet. An omelet, you put some bacon in there, all the good stuff. Omelets are great. 3 eggs, it's just nice, you know? It's nice. Then X Slurp asks, which games do you regret buying? You know, if I regret buying a game, if I think that I might regret it, I buy it physically. Therefore, I've sold a bunch of them. And so one of them is Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. And while I'm not saying I regret buying the game Hyrule Warriors, I'm saying I just don't know. Like, I bought that game for like $60. Bro, Hyrule Warriors Wii U is now worth like $10. Like, it's not that much different to pay $60 opposed to $10. So I regret buying that. I since sold it. That's one of them. Mario plus Rabbids. I can't say that I regret it because like I haven't played more than like 5 hours of it. But I bought that game in like 2017, I think is when it came out. It was the day it came out. I think it was like one of the first Mario games that came out on the Switch. The first year that the Switch was out. So I bought it, and it never ever hooked me or even interested me. And maybe I'll go back and like replay it one day, but it just never really hooked me. So probably those two. Then our final question, CB the Legendary asks, yo, what's your favorite Mario game? Favorite Mario game is Mario 3D World. If not that, I just made it harder for myself. If not that, then I'd probably give you either Mario Sports Mix, if that counts, or Mario Bros. Wii, something like that. But Mario 3D World is my favorite Mario game. I'm hoping that answer changes to Mario Bros. Wonder. I need me a great Mario game sooner rather than later. Anyways, that is it for all of the questions, and that is it for the podcast episode, the Mario Matter, episode 44. This was quite the long episode. However, I do hope you guys did enjoy it to the fullest. I'll see you all in the next one. If you are listening on Apple or Spotify or even YouTube, if you could leave us a fantastic review on Apple or Spotify, that'd be very much appreciated, or even just a like if you're on YouTube. Much appreciated. Thank you to our channel members for supporting the channel monetarily. If you want to get awesome perks like a follow on social media, priority question asking, special exclusive Mario Matter episodes, feel free, become a channel member in the description. With that, I love you all. I'll see you all on episode 45. Adios.